Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again, and welcome to The Roads with Belle. Today is March 23rd, 2025, and this is episode 83 of The Roads Not Taken, which is a weekly series where we go over the news that was unreported, underreported, didn't get the coverage we felt that it should, or we just found it interesting. And then we go through a few questions from y'all. Today is March 23rd, and it's National Near Miss Day, which is celebrated because on this date in 1989, an asteroid came within 500,000 miles of Earth, which is close in cosmic terms. It wasn't discovered until after it had passed. And on this date in 1775, Patrick Henry gave his famous "Give me liberty or give me death" speech. And starting with foreign policy, early indications are that Trump's trade war is greatly impacting U.S. tourism from Canada, with 500,000 fewer Canadians coming over. Estimates are that it will cost U.S. tourism billions. Trump has reportedly ordered a second U.S. carrier to the Mideast, which might signal increased attacks on the Houthis. Denmark and Finland are advising extra caution for trans people visiting the United States. Economic analysis suggests that the Russian economy may actually struggle to cope with any peace. And a new Israel ground offensive is underway in Gaza, and the AP report suggests it will have even broader aims and seems to suggest it will be worse this time around. In U.S. news, the National Transportation Safety Board has conducted a survey of bridges around the country, and a number of bridges were found to be vulnerable in the report. Trump has started the process of trying to end the Department of Education. Bernie and AOC are holding rallies and energizing some of the Democratic base, and seeming to find a message that is resonating. Trump canceled the security clearances of many of his political rivals. A number of people sent in questions about this. He absolutely has the power to do this. A federal judge has promised to get to the bottom of whether or not the Trump administration ignored a court order over deportations. In cultural news, Trump shutting down Voice of America and similar outlets has been called a gift to autocracies. A lawsuit was filed by employees trying to stop the shutdown. Trump's DOD purge of information he considers DEI led to the removal of pages about Black soldiers, Navajo code talkers, and so on. After outrage, the administration caved and the pages were restored. According to the World Happiness Report 2025, Finland is happiest. The United States has fallen to its lowest position ever at 24. George Foreman has died. In science news, public health experts are saying that the measles epidemic stands a good chance of turning into a nationwide epidemic. Researchers say the loss of glaciers threatens the water supply and therefore food supplies for 2 billion people. In economic news, the U.S. is attempting to import eggs from Turkey and South Korea to ease prices. Trump called for an immediate reduction in interest rates. The irony is that the reason rates aren't lower is because the Fed is waiting to see how much inflation his policies cause. If the Fed lowers rates now, they have less tools to fight inflation, or worse, stagflation. Eat Now, Pay Later has reportedly been introduced for DoorDash. Look, I'm not saying that's a horrible sign for the economy, but a market for financing fast food is definitely not a sign of a healthy economy. In Oddities, the United States has blocked Canadian access to a library that straddles the border, prompting international outrage. Austin, Texas had to stop flights coming in because they didn't have enough air traffic controllers. Moving on to the Q&A. What do you think about the state of Oklahoma being the most profitable state per person? That seems off. It is. Oklahoma is the most profitable state per employee, meaning the companies make the most off of each employee. Here's some other interesting state facts to go along with that. Oklahoma ranks 45th in median wage. That seems to indicate that companies make the most per employee because they pay the employees less. Well, at least those companies are giving back to the state, right? Wait, it's 49th in education and 49th in healthcare. It's a mystery how companies profit there the most. Is the stripper index real? I couldn't tell if that was a joke or not. No, the stripper index is very real. It's seen as a leading indicator of recession. Basically, if dancers go an extended period of time with low tips, it's bad news for the economy overall. It's really just an interesting way to get people to pay attention to consumer spending because it zooms in on a specific industry's consumer spending. Can you please give a recommendation for a pre-packed bug-out bag that costs a little bit more, one that's more robust, one that's mid-grade? We would if we could. We've been looking at these for years, and we've been waiting to just truly say, hey, here's one that has name brand equipment and everything you need for $200 or less. We haven't found one. Basically, what you get is one that's less than $100, and that gets you something to build on with some name brand equipment. Or it has all the basics without being name brand. Or you can buy one that's put together by someone here on the team who does relief work, but that's like the cost of a used car. There's not really a good middle of the road, but if we find one, we would definitely let you know. Why are your videos so much shorter than most on the same topic? Well, I talk fast. I also script, so that takes out the ums and the dead air. And I also script to stay completely on topic because I have a tendency to jump tracks and then loop back around. So I script a very brief, factual, here's what you need to know. And I'm not trying to get a mid-roll ad. You have to make videos that I think they're like 8 minutes to hit a mid-roll ad. And we don't really have a desire to make that happen. As long as I get you what you need to know in the video, I'm pretty happy. So, what's going to happen with my student loans now? Oof. Nobody knows yet. It's going to be a mess. Trump is saying the Small Business Administration is going to take it over and that they're going to manage them, I think. But there are going to be so many lawsuits over this, and I don't think anybody can even guess where it's going to land. It'll probably be a mess for years. So that looks like it. A little more information and a little more context, and having the right information will make all the difference. Y'all have a good day.